You promise and promise and promise, struggle with your promises, try to make another promise on top of that initial promise, pull at something or somebody to help you fulfill that initial promise, demand of others to fulfill their promises so you can fulfill yours, make life inconvenient just to get within spitting distance of fulfilling that initial promise, pray that you can fulfill the promise, and fall flat on your face when you realize that you cannot fulfill the promise. And usually we honestly have that understanding at the very beginning. If someone is calling and asking you for money and you say, I can't afford that, that should tell you right there that you cannot fulfill the promise. What we do is we say we can't afford something, but then try to find a way to afford it. And because we don't want the person to hurt or fall on their face or something like that, but sometimes they just may have to fall on their face. That's not being mean because you can't afford it. You can't give away your rent. You can't give away your mortgage, right? And so that if you give away that money, you're giving away your livelihood. You're giving away your shelter costs. And if they have to turn around and ask you for rent and for mortgage, part of their mortgage, that lets you know they're not good with their finances. Because why would they get a house if they can't afford it, right? Sometimes situations happen and the mortgage rate is raised, or the amount that you have to pay is raised, right? Okay, that may be a little bit different because you weren't expecting that and your job doesn't really cover that. But someone shouldn't have to ask you for their rent or their mortgage every month either. So you want to be careful about how the promises you make. You need to know for certain that you can fulfill that promise. And it can't be to the detriment of your finances or your mental faculties or your time, or like some people, promise, okay, I'll take care of your kids over the weekend, but then you get to the weekend and you had such a hard weekend, you're tired. Well, you shouldn't have promised, because you don't want to have a situation where you are asleep in the house and all the kids are running wild and something happens to them too. And so you got to get to a place in your life where no has to be an option, or for certain people that you deal with, it may have to be the default. So promising and promising and promising beyond your capacity will add stress to your life, and put you on the path of a heart attack or a stroke.